Okay, and we are live. Welcome to Upside Down's first live stream. I hope that it will be nice and useful for you. I will be modeling the Seventh Heavens bar from Final Fantasy. And we'll see how far we will go. I'll start in 3ds Max just by our well-known mannequin, and we will see what we are able to do and how far we are able to go. I will be following, I'll show you over here. This is the screenshot which I found, and I'll be following from this screenshot, so we will try to recreate as much as possible. I'll just move it here on my other screen so that it doesn't go on the way, and feel free to ask me any kind of questions. If you have something, I'll be more than happy to reply. Let's start. I'll make it something like let's say 3.5 meters. I think it's a good height for the ceilings. Okay. Now we can already delete this one. We just needed to get the sides. I'll actually make it a little bit more white. Yeah, something like this doesn't look bad. And in terms of length, I'll go maybe something like 5 meters. Yeah, I think 5 meters will be okay. I'll just quickly remove this pink color, assign something gray with the black outline so that it's more well visible. So I'll just copy this and mirror it on X this time, and we're putting it on 5 meters. Okay, now we can continue with this piece. If you're wondering what kind of snap I'm using at the moment, I'm using the grid one, vertex, and as well midpoint. I think this is like one of the best combos that you can have. It gives you a lot of options and a lot of opportunities what you can grab and snap it somewhere. It makes it very fast and easy to work. Okay. So far, not bad. Let's close this. So this is, I would say, I won't do the best practice for this modeling. I'll try to keep it nice and clean, but as we are going as well for making it faster than usual, I would say that it won't be the cleanest model ever and also the most optimized, and especially when it comes to UVs. I'm thinking just to automate most of the UVs. Let me just quickly save this somewhere. Okay, so we have a save just in case. Always a good thing to have. So let's continue with our beams. I'll just use this since we already have it made. And I'll close both sides. This, and we are going to divide it. Yeah. Okay. Maybe it's a little bit too thick. Yeah, I will also rotate it like this to give us more detail. And we are going to make it thinner. Move this to view. Something like this, I think it will be good. Let's move the pivot to the center. Okay, I think like this it looks good. And now we need to make the other one. Okay. For this one, we need to cut it. So I'm making it, let's say, up to here. And of course, we should not forget to bridge those. We don't want to have any holes and gaps into our model. gonna use some shell, and let's bring it so that it touches the wall behind, like, yeah, like this. So I'm gonna give it some gray color. Okay, we have one of the elements. And I'm now looking at this. I think that we will redo it a little bit, because I think that the height maybe of the whole wall is about 4 meters. So I will just I'll just make this one a little bit. I'll move it up. So we are going to move it, let's say 1 meter up. Yeah, so that we can put here on the bottom this other part. I'll leave this like that. And I will make a copy. Those, I'm not sure what exactly to do with it. Maybe I'll make them a little bit smaller, and this way I can actually, yeah, I think this way I can actually make it so that or I can just make, let's say, this roll to be shorter, like this. Yeah, like this. And then this one will go up. I hope that the stream is going well, because I don't have the best internet and it's really a struggle. So I hope that the stream will be moving okay. Let's do this like that. Okay. Okay, a bit better. Now we need to fix those. Local. I'm making it like this. I'll just delete this and copy it to be faster. Can do actually the same here. I can do it like this. Okay. Let's move it a little bit up. Okay, like this doesn't look good. Doesn't look bad. So let's try to get this. For this video I actually wanted to record it, but I had so many issues with my setup because I started, you will see I already collected few materials from substance source, and I actually had things prepared, but the moment that I started already streaming and working on it, my 3ds Max first crashed. Then I had so many issues with my OBS that it got files corrupted and so on and so on, and at the end I decided, okay, let's try just to stream it, not to record it. And as well I wanted to try how streaming is gonna be. So yeah, it's my first live stream. Let's go like this. Hopefully it's not super bad. Okay, we have this part done. Let's try now to... what else we gonna need? We're gonna need to make, of course, corners. So I'll just attach here these elements. Actually, this one I will leave it on its own, because we are gonna make a corner. And I'll show you a quick trick. I'll just duplicate it. I'll just duplicate it here. And now I'll go to symmetry. Let's make it this one. I'll go here. Okay, now we can make it so it goes like this. Okay. And because we have snap, we can use snap. And there you go. We have a corner that fast and easy. It's of course worth checking that everything is welded, because sometimes there are sometimes issues and mistakes that are happening, and not everything gets nice and welded. So I usually just go around and check a little bit how things are going. So I'm of course gonna use the same corners for the upper element. Center those. Hello and welcome to the stream. Okay, let's attach our elements. We will have this one here. I'll just leave it here for now. And we will want to have two variations. Yeah, we're gonna have to. Actually, I'll just bake one, and then we will make the second variation from it. And this one, I can remove those corners, and we are going to change them with the ones that I just made. So this and this. The one on the bottom is a smaller one, yeah, because I used those. Doesn't matter, we will just copy this one. Good that we have at least that one done in the correct size. Okay, this one I can remove as well. Actually, before removing it, I'll just copy this. We're removing that part, and now I will snap it. Okay, so we have so far made one element. We made a second one. Third one, which will be after the corner. Oh, and this one we... Yeah, this one I don't need. This side. Let me just quickly copy the same plane here. Okay, like this looks good. I'm again rotating it. Actually, I'm not sure why I need to rotate them, since they will very soon go to substance, and we are going to bake everything. So in order for us to have good bakes, since we already know that everything is snapping okay, I'll just separate those a little bit from each other, so that when they go to substance we don't get any errors and any issues. And now we continue with let's see, let's make the stairs. Okay, for the stairs I will go in side view, and what I will do is I'll make this first part, let's say like this, and we make them, yeah, meter, maybe meter 20. Yeah, meter 20. Probably will look a little bit better, like that. Maybe we'll change the steepness of them. I'll go to rendering, enable rendering, and then rectangular, and here we will do it like 30 by 30. Let's see, yeah, okay, 30 by 30, I think it will be okay. Let's compare it to our guy here. Yeah, maybe it's a little bit too much. I'll go 25. Yep. Okay, that's a little bit better. And I will make now a square over here. This square we are going to use for the bottom part where it stands. I'll give it a height of let's say 30 centimeters. It will go in the ground, so we need to have a little bit more, and I will need to make it, yeah, like this. Since I like to work with exact numbers, I'll just round those. And I'll do a connect over here. And this we are going to scale it a little bit. It will catch some light and some details from the scene, so it will be better overall. Here we don't really need the bottom part, and since we are kind of happy with this, I will go and I will move those upwards, like this. And we of course don't need this part, so I'll just delete it. Let's again put our gray material. Okay, and now let's do some stairs. So overall I am thinking for the stairs to be 2 meters, yeah, around 2 meters. So I'll make this here. I'll just attach those to the base, and we'll move them here on 2 meters. Maybe 2 meters it's too small. Yeah, let's make it 3. Let's make it 3 meters. Yeah, nice and wide staircase. Okay, and here I'll do it like that. Let's do it 30. It's a little bit too much, but it will be okay. And for the planks themselves, let's make it 3.5. It should be okay. I'll make those even 35. After all, it's a game. We need to over exaggerate a little bit some stuff. And now we are gonna place the steps. So since this will go probably up to here in the ground, then we will have our first step at the very bottom. I'll hold shift and we go like this. Let's give it 10. It will be of course too many, but we can clear it a little bit. We're just eyeballing it because after that, when we bake everything, we'll probably end up like breaking some of them or changing some stuff there, so it's not a big issue. Okay, here, oh, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to remove those as we don't need them. Okay, and let's attach the other side. Okay, we are pretty good. Now let's do the entrance, or the whole decoration part for the entrance. This one should be fun. What I will do, I'll actually use splines, and I will just hide those. And since we know that this part is 3 meters, let me turn off those. Since we know that this part is 3 meters, we're going to do the same here, like this. And now I'll use an arch, so I'll make it from here to here, and like that. Yeah, like that. I will make one more arch. Or we will just copy this one. Yeah, we're just gonna copy this one. Let's do it like this. Okay, and one more time, one smaller one. Okay, we will have one line here, and then I will make one like this, and like this. And here we are going to have like 2 more in each as decoration, like from, let's say, from here to here, and like that. Okay, now I will just come here and we are gonna attach all these lines. Okay, we are enabling the rendering. This time we are gonna use radial, and I'll give it, let's say, 6. I think that it's a little bit too thick. Maybe it's okay. Yeah, let's make it a little bit thicker, because otherwise it might be making this trembling when we end the scene, so a little bit thicker, we can at least prevent that. And of course, since we have this, I'll just steal one of these beams from here, and we are going to build the other part from the entrance. Let's make it straight. This one I already modified a bit too much. Okay, I'll just make a new one. Anyway, it will fit here, so let's make it, yeah, 2 by 2 like this, and we are going to make it 3 meter high. So this part of the entrance actually needs to be standing a little bit on top of the rest, as I see it here on the concept, on the screenshot. So let's see, like this. So this will come on top like that. Yeah, I think, yeah, like this 3 meters, it's gonna be okay. So here I will just cut quickly. This, and we are going to bridge those, and the same on the other side. And after that, with border, I'm going to close the rest, and I'll just assign it a gray material like the others. Now we can put this here and the other one on -3. Okay, I will be making the whole structure. We put it on top. I'm not going to align it because I actually want it to stick a little bit out like that. It will give it a little bit more natural look if it's like this rather than being perfectly aligned. And we will have one more like here. Okay, and here for the sides, I'll actually align those. Just gonna make it 3 so that it aligns with the bottom one. This, zero it out. Okay, and let's see what's the height of this 50 to 50. Let's make it a round number to 55, and I will attach those two, colon them, and make the same number 55 so that they align. Okay, Hello! Welcome to the stream. Hopefully it will be helpful and useful. If you have any questions or you want to ask me something, yeah, just feel free to ask me. I'll already convert this to editable poly, and we will start making the rest of the frame. Let's see, here we are going to do, yeah, I'll do few beams inside. Let's make it like that. I'll do like this, 2 of them. And we'll get this one. This, let's make it like 2 more. This one will be here. I'll maybe move it a little bit. I overdid it there. Like that. Okay, after that, I'll probably use Marvelous Designer at the end for all this, for the cloud simulations, because it's really fast and all these things go very quickly. What are we missing here? We are missing the beans that go on the top. Whoa, this went crazy. Okay, so we know that this is 3 meters, so 1.5 should be right in the middle. Let's make it like this. Go from here all the way to the front, and it will actually stick out a little bit. This part is not very well visible on the screenshot exactly what's happening, but yeah, we'll just think of something. So I'll just make the one on this side, and just for the sake of breaking a little bit the shape, I will shorten this one and we'll clone it on the other side as well. Okay, so far not bad. Let's hide those, and I'll just quickly grab everything and attach it so that it's one object. And we have the walls. Oh, we need the smaller version of those walls, which are going to be for the second floor. Let me quickly drag again the concept here just to show you what I mean. So at the moment we already have where did that one go? So at the moment we already made those, and the one for the side, the one for the bottom. We have the front part here. We have part of the stairs. I just need to make the side of it, and now I'll just make the top ones. Those, since they are 5 meters, and those look like square, so we have 350 for the whole height. So those will be, I'll make them 3 by 3, I think, because second floor, it seems that it's not as high as this one. So I'll just make it, this one is a little bit higher, this will be 3.5, and this one will be 3 meters. Let me move it again on the side. So I will reuse directly some of the elements. I will reuse this, this, and this, like that. Let's snap it to here. I'll hide the rest so that it doesn't bother us. And let's put it in the center of the scene, it's gonna be a little bit easier. So this one, we can see that at the moment it's on 2.5. Okay, so I will just detach it. And I will move this pivot here, and now we are moving it on 3 meters. Let's detach this, and here I will snap this thing to the top, almost. You need to make 3 groups as instance. You need to change one part of the group and that's a good question. Actually, I never tried that. I don't think that you can. I think that you can instance an element inside of it, but I don't think that you can have a. Let's try it out. I'm curious now. Let's group out those. I'll just clone them here on the side. Let's group out those. And if we clone it as an instance, and we open the group. So yeah, as you can see, it's yeah, basically instancing all the elements inside. So yeah, that hopefully that answers your question. I'm not sure if you if you already ungroup it, it might not work as well. But yeah, when you just open the group, it should work fine. Okay, and we said that we are making this thing 3 meters. I'll detach this, and we are touching this part. Actually, I don't need the corner ones. I will need to unhide the rest, and I will need to grab. Let's grab the whole element. I'll need to grab those because they are not cornered. Okay, now we can hide this. And this we make it on 3 so that it's 3 by 3, and we need to make this upper part go on 3 meters as well. Okay. Let's make it to the center. Of course, we are eyeballing everything. We don't want anything to be perfect. Otherwise, it doesn't look real. I'm joking, of course. There are sometimes when you need to be exact. But after all, we are making game assets. Game assets, when it comes to architectural elements, it should be pretty exact. But when it comes to thinking of some fantasy and non-realistic environments, you don't always have to be perfect and exact. Sometimes happy mistakes happen, and it looks fine at the very end. Okay, and what else we need here? We are missing the other bean. Let's save quickly, just so that Max doesn't become Max on us. Okay, up. Now since I tested this, I completely forgot that I moved it to an instance. Let me go back on copy. Yeah. I use instances so rarely that when it happens I already panic. I was using a lot more instances and yeah, instancing the geometry and the copies back when I was working and doing some visualizations. Nowadays I don't use it that much. I use it very rarely. I usually, if I'm building some architectural elements or some modules that I'm completely not sure what is about to happen. In this case we already have some concept, so I'm not experimenting as much. It's don't get me wrong, like making 3D and everything, it's pretty tough, it's hard, not very easy. And the stream that I wanted to do today, it's not to show that oh yeah, it's so easy and everyone can do it without any preparation. It's more of I want to show that whenever you have already a good design and a good concept and something to follow, it can speed up your process so much. And usually the design part and the testing part is something that takes so much time. Okay, so what do we have now? We have the modules for the top. Oh, I didn't have something attached there. Or what is this element? Lost and forgotten element. This, and we need of course the one which will be for the corner. Let's detach this, and I'll grab this thingy. Mirror. I want to save some time on aligning things. There is one thing that I noticed. I'm not sure if they changed it on this version of 3ds Max, or they changed it some time ago, since before that before 2021 I was using 2016, and it's about freezing the selection with space. Like, I'm so used to doing this, and now instead it's toggling something different, and it bothers me a little bit, to be honest, but yeah, nothing that I won't be able to live without, but yeah, it's not very pleasant. So, as I mentioned in the beginning, we are not gonna go super crazy and optimize. The idea here is to kind of just experiment and do some speed modeling, so I'm not gonna go crazy with the UVs, but I will just make them. I'll just make everything basically automated from Max, and see how well it will handle everything. So we are not. Of course, if this is something that's supposed to, at the end, go into a production, I would be killed if I do something like just direct UVWs. But now for our purposes of the video, it's working well enough. Okay, let's do these two elements together because they don't need that much texture space, so they will be just in one. And those I'll do also one by one. I'm not gonna pack them all together. This one. And the reason why I wanted to do those different, just so that we have some variation. Not, I of course could just baked one of them, and then the other one we could have saved from some textures, but let's just have some variations. It's not bad. Yeah, I'm so used to 3ds Max. Like, actually, the first software that I started 3D and modeling and doing my stuff was Maya. I was like few months after that introduced to 3ds Max, and I'm already so invested so much time and so many countless sleepless nights that it's I would say that it's just a little bit hard for me to already change to something else. It doesn't mean that I won't try. I actually wanted to try to use a little bit of Blender, since I only opened it like once or twice. Oh, Max, please don't crash on me. It's thinking. Oh no, it's not a secret at all. Originally, I'm from Bulgaria, but I've been living in around Europe for the last couple of years. So especially now with my wife, we are moving. We were in Poland at the moment. We live in France. Sorry, there is something happening here and I don't like it. I have the feeling that 3ds Max will crash, since it thinks so much. I'll just save it, close it and save it before something bad goes wrong, and I will reopen it. Stuff like this happen, of course, and yeah, this is why saving is a good thing. How is the stream going, by the way, guys? Is it okay, or it's buffering too much? Because if it is buffering too much, yeah, I'm really sorry. It's my internet is really bad. We are waiting for for internet to provider to finally put us a little bit better connection, but since the situation at the moment, they all the technicians are not working, and yeah, it's a struggle. Okay, before exporting everything, I will just quickly come here and reset text form. It's always a good thing to do, especially since I was using some mirror. Okay, just checking that we don't have anything flipped. Okay, seems good. This one seems good as well. And this one also seems good. Yeah, I actually have lots of colleagues that are using on their personal project and everything Blender, and it looks very nice. It's I wouldn't lie, but for me there are a couple of issues, and one of them is that most of, like, for production pipeline, it doesn't work that well, and usually now that I have some more time, and I decided to spend this time making this channel, I just want to model a little bit for fun, so I'll definitely go and try Blender, but before that, in my work, I didn't have that much time to experiment, so this is why I never, like if it was something that I knew that we couldn't put it into our production pipeline, I basically didn't bother that much. So now let's I want to show you a quick trick. I will get all of this at the same time in Painter. It's very nice way that you can work, and you can save lots of time, but each of it's going to be a separate texture set. So this one, I have one material assigned. It doesn't matter what material you assign, I just go and I will assign different material for each of the objects. Okay, this one and this one, let's maybe this one, pick that one so that it's not something transparent. Okay, now I'm getting everything. We already have our UVs, and I'll just export everything. Okay, let's. I'll just click, I just name it export 01. Okay, and let's open Painter. My Painter is also not the latest update because of my internet. I'm saving all available time just to be able to upload something. So let's go new. We'll do 2K textures, no need to go crazy. And let's find it's here, this one. Okay, now we have everything here, and you can see that we have all of our different texture set on the side. So now we can just one by one go and do everything that we need. I mentioned that I already am a little bit prepared, since I wanted to do this as a video. So I have this list of materials that I downloaded from Substance Source, and I will just put everything into the project. I'll put it into the current project, and for this one I'll just also give it a save sub, just to be sure that nothing will crash and die. Okay, and let's see now one by one what do we have here. So the first one is this. Yeah, okay, that's good. Let's start. So I have. I'll start first with my bricks. Okay, that's way too big. So let's go something like 4. Yeah, I think 4 will be okay. Let's make a mask paint, and I'm just gonna click on this one because yeah, this is the only one that we want with bricks. Maybe you are going to go a little bit smaller, I'm not sure. We will see when we have some of the other elements as well. I'll use this one for the metal, and here I will just come and copy this mask, do like this, and paste that, and now we can come and invert it so we have all the metal elements out. And this is way too dark, like this, if it goes to any game engine, it will be disastrous, so we need to definitely make it brighter. And also this tiling just kills me. Like let's go like this. Roughness too shiny. Let's do like this, and since we are making a game asset, let's make it as scratched as possible. Okay, and now on top, of course, we will go and build some dirt. Okay, and we are gonna use some smart masks. Let's see. Let's try the moss one. Let's see what we will get. Okay, that's definitely not our mask. No, this one definitely not gonna. Okay, soft edges. I'm missing something. Boom. Just switch it to 3D view only. Oh yes, I know what I'm missing. Yeah, it's already a bit late and I'm forgetting just some very stupid things. Let me remove this, and before doing anything I need to, of course, do bakes, because what kind of masks it will do if I don't have any bakes. So I'll use the low polish and bake out texture sets. While we are waiting, tell me a little bit in the chat about you guys. You're working as 3D artists or doing it as hobby freelancers? how also did you find my channel? I'm curious. Of course, if nothing of those is secret. So there is a question. What would be a better for game engine to give idea or few materials on one object? Touch every part, different material would be. Okay, let me see if I get correctly. This is. I assume that you are asking this from optimization purposes, and okay, this already looks a bit better. So in terms of optimizing everything, it really depends on what kind of project you are doing. Like if you're, it's always better to have less materials on your object, if that makes sense, because more materials makes it heavier on. Let's see what we will. It will look good. And this one is too much. Yeah, this one as well. So yeah, it's always better to have less materials, I would say, because it of course depends on the whole scene that you're building, I would say, because it really depends a lot on the game. It's a question that I wouldn't be able to reply just by one simple thing. So yeah, less materials, and usually what I'm doing is it depends. Like let's say that you're doing an open world game. So if you're doing an open world game, you have you usually, the way that you're optimizing it, you're going for a square. So depending on how big is a square for your project, you can just simply calculate a budget. This usually is done with the TechArt, and like it's done like some test with couple of materials and also with couple of different objects, and how hard it can go. And of course you need to have some characters and animations and other stuff there. So then you do the whole stress test about this square, and then you put some optimization requirements, and yeah, that's pretty much the whole process. But if you're doing it for a game which is like a linear game and you're just walking around, so then comes the question of how you're dividing your levels. Like if you want to have a lot of details and you want to have lots of materials and yeah, lots of cool things happening and everything to be very high quality, I would suggest to think of the game design a lot and make it so that you have you're splitting it in a smart way, and then in each section to calculate for each section the budget and see how much less polygons, faster rendering. Well, yeah, it also depends on the number of textures, and also depends of the complexity of the materials, because yeah, you can pretty much kill the performance with just having like two crazy materials with some displacement and a lot of other stuff, and especially alphas. Like if you have stuff with lots of alphas that are covering big portion of the screen, it goes very heavy very fast. So let's continue here while I'm talking. I'll just delete this empty layer, and to transfer what are we gonna do? I'll do one more dirt from from ground. No, for this one we don't need from the ground. I'll just do the ground ones on the bottom elements. So I'll do a folder and I'll name this 7th bar, and let's get all these elements inside here. make it to be a smart material so that now we can have it here. Okay, and we continue with the second part. This is the second one. This should be very fast because we're just gonna drag and drop this, delete the empty layer, and then we just need to come here and of course fix our masks. Okay, here we can just invert it, and yeah, let's build it up from the base. Okay, yeah, as I said, this one went pretty fast, and to just make it a little bit different from the other one, I will add one more layer. I'll make it I'll add some moss on it. Yeah, let's put this one, multiply it, and for the moss, let's make it a little bit with more roughness so it reflects more. And let's see, for color, I'll go a little bit like this. Yeah, okay. This doesn't look bad. So let's continue. Next one is this. Where did our smart materials go? Here. Same thing, we are hiding those. Coming to paint. Okay, so here we will need to fix a little bit the tiling because the upper one is has a little bit more texture space than this one. So we need to make it the same. We remove that part, we put the dirt, and we are ready. Let me quickly save again. And we go to our fourth model, this one. I hope you don't get this scene too serious. We're just modeling it for fun, to see what we can do in a short amount of time. And also I wanted to get to know you a little bit better, and if somebody has some questions, to feel free to ask. Okay, here I will come and I will copy this layer, and we are going to paste it here. Yes. Okay. Okay, here we need to make it consistent with the one on top, and as you can see, it's somewhere in between. Yeah, like this, it's not bad, but I don't like how some of the bricks are being cutted. Yeah, let's make it like that. It looks a little bit better. Yeah, okay, like, doesn't look that bad. Put dirt. Okay, and on those I will add one layer, and this layer is gonna be with the ground dirt, since this is something which is gonna be on the very bottom. Let me make it a lot darker and multiply it, and I'll paint on it, and I'll just go quickly with a brush. Yes, let's go with this one. I'll put a lot more than what we need, and later on I'll just remove some of it. Okay. Let's now remove. Okay, and I will make it not as strong. Yeah, I like this. It's not that bad. And what will we have here? Next one is this. It's okay, it's just with the metal that we already have. Yeah, actually I will just copy it from some of the other elements so that it's consistent. Copy layer. Let's come here, paste it. Okay. And I will also grab some of the dirt. Copy layer. Paste it. Okay, not too bad. And last one will be our stairs. For the stairs, this will be, the bottoms are gonna be concrete, and this one is gonna be wooden. So I have here this rotten wooden material. Let's start with that. Okay, so we have. Okay, let's do a mask. Let's do a white mask, and I will remove. We need the paint layer, and I will remove all the elements that the direction. This here should not be at all. The direction is not correct. Here is not correct. And on the bottom, and this one, but here, and yeah, those on the side as well. The other side seems to be okay, okay-ish. And here, let's try a little bit smaller in terms of detail. Should be a bit better. Maybe this is too small. Yeah, let's 3. It looks fine. Now let's duplicate it, and I'm going to invert it. And here on the rotation we're putting it 90 degree so that we fixed the rest. And for this, maybe, yeah, I'll make another one just to have it going the right direction. But before that, I will just add one more paint layer and remove these parts here. Okay. So we need to edit those sides, duplicate, and we are just putting this here, and we need it to be like 120. Yeah, 120. Okay, not bad. Let's make a layer on top, and let's put some, let's see, maybe moss, maybe ground dirt. Yeah, moss. Yeah, moss will work out for us. Let's make it like this. I can make it even darker. Okay. And we don't want that much roughness. Well, for the channel, yeah, I actually wanted to start a YouTube channel a few years back. I really couldn't find a format that I was happy with, and something that was just enjoying how to make the videos. So yeah, it's mostly to help people to start their career as 3D artists, and yeah, just something to do in my free time. I usually up to this point was doing some personal projects of mine, like some small games, and yeah, I wanted to already start doing something a little bit different, because I'm doing literally every day at work games, and I love it, don't get me wrong, but I just wanted something for a little bit different on the side. Let's see what I'm gonna do. I will use this iron bumped, or no, I actually have a concrete. I just remember that I got a concrete material, if I'm not mistaken, of course. I don't see it, so yeah, let's go back to the iron. Okay, and let's put it only on the bottom. If you saw my video about the last video for Hellblade environment, you saw me doing the same trick. And yes, here we remove the metallic, and I'll make it a little bit more tiled. Let's background dirt. And this one we are doing a little bit more brownish, not that green. Like that for now. I think it's okay. We will maybe experiment a little bit more if we find after that we need to change some stuff. Yeah, another thing about the YouTube channel is that let's export now everything back to max. Is that I think maybe 4 or 5 years ago I was participating in my university and replacing one of my teachers in some of his 3ds Max lectures, and I actually really enjoyed it. I really liked that one, and like the interaction with people, and it was very satisfying, I would say. So this is why I also wanted to do a channel. Okay, we have everything here. I'll just save the scene in case, and I will go back to, okay, let's close it, and let's get back inside 3ds Max. So let's start assigning a little bit of materials and see how things look like. We will start with this one. I'm removing all the roughness here for now. We don't want any of this to be distracting us. I'll be using the PBR thing because after that maybe we'll just turn some of the lights, see how it looks. Okay, base. Thank you. I'm really glad that there is an interest to the topic, and I'm trying to be as useful as possible. Okay. Let's change the texture of this guy because like this he looks super ridiculous. I'll just put him some standard material. Whoa, if apocalypse happens. If apocalypse happens, I have no idea. I'm doing this already for 11, yeah, almost 11 years, and I don't think that I ever had any other. No, actually, I'm lying. I had other job. I worked as student one summer in one motorbike shop, and like helping repair bikes and so on, because bikes were a hobby nowadays already, not as much, but before it was a hobby of mine, and yeah, I just worked there a little bit and helped. So probably, I don't know, hopefully in the apocalypse doomsday scenario it will some of that knowledge will be needed, some like Mad Max vehicles and somebody to do something like this. Let's let's start building a little bit of the environment. See what we made so far. I'll just quickly build up a few walls. Those two we can already split. No worries. That was a fun question. Let's get back. I'll drag the concept again here, just to see. So we have 4 pieces going that way, and as well we have we need to make this middle one, which is with the windows and the doors, and then we pretty much need to make some of the railings, some of the tubes around, and of course the signs and clothes. Yeah, okay, so let's first do this like 4 so we can get some metrics for the ground here. Let's grab this one. Okay, let's grab this. We'll do the same for the bottom row. I really hope that we don't have to go to the scenario of apocalypse and no 3D art, and there will be no people around the world that need to drive my vehicles, because I would say that it will be disastrous. It will cause more problem probably than any of the other situations that will be happening. Something somewhere didn't snap quite right, and I will find it. It's okay, I found it's this piece. Yes. And here is it okay? No, here it's not okay as well. Sneaky. Here. Okay. Now I'll be able to sleep normally. How do you think there is any reason to start riding bikes with low CC and starting with? Well, yeah, I would say yes. It depends in what city you live in, and of course if you if it's convenient and comfortable for you. And I love bikes in general. I think people on the streets that are driving cars are getting more and more used to having more bikes and more small vehicles, like even the electrical ones. So it's becoming probably safer. Don't quote me on that, please. But yeah, I think if you can contribute to better ecology and less traffic, why not? And as well, if it's something that's convenient for you to use. Okay, let's get this guy out. And what do we need now? Let's make the pipes and yeah, make the front side. This actually is not supposed to be here, it's supposed to go I'll just make it so that it's the center of our scene, and I'll move the rest. Okay, so we have this let's bring back the screenshot. So we have these elements done. They are 5 meters long, and for this one it looks that it's longer than those. And also let's compare this door to this guy. So this door looks that it's maybe at 150, maybe, yeah, let's say around. These doors and these windows look the same, so let's say those three are 150, which already makes 450, and have those on the side, so 5, 6. Let's put those on 50 centimeters and have some space here as well. So yeah, let's say that this will be around 650, maybe. Yeah, around 650. Let's do it like this. I will not bake all the elements for it. Like the one on the top, I think that I will just reuse the same from here. We are just gonna bake the bricks and what else? And yeah, the windows as well. So let's start from a plane. How high is this? 7, 12, 12. Let's remove all these segments. And we already know that the top part is let's see, 412, 412 exactly. Okay, and just so that it's a little bit easier for me, I will make it here, and let me hide some of those. I'll leave this guy here. And we are gonna leave like 0.5 for the before getting to the window. We said that we are putting it 150 for the window, then we are leaving another 0.5 between the window and the door. Then we have it to 4.5. Actually to 4, because yeah, here we're 2.5. Yeah, this one is for the door, and here I'm not gonna spend to do the rest, because first we are going to divide the part for the window. So just to be easier in the metrics and not have to do weird numbers, the height of a standard window, let's make it a 1075. Yeah, 0.75 I think should be fine. And for the upper part, it should be as tall as the door. And this door for this bar, I think it's quite high, because I think it's like 220, something like that, let's say. Because at least from the guys on the photo, it seems like this. And we are gonna put this on minus 0.2. Yeah, let's go like 20 centimeters backwards. These things we're cleaning and deleting. And the reason why I didn't do the other part is because I just gonna grab this. And now we are going for symmetry. Okay, now I can remove this middle part. Maybe it's the depth is too much, so let's move it a little bit forward. Let's make it like this. Actually, I need to have windows there, so yeah. And now let's make the windows. I'll detach that part. We are splitting it, and I'll grab this one, and we are gonna do a frame. Let's see something which won't look extremely ridiculous. Yeah, like this, it looks okay. I'll detach this thing as well. Okay, and we need, yes, this middle segment. I'm curious, do you play games? And if yes, what is something that you recently played and enjoyed most? Let's make it 35. I'll just even go a little bit more, like 40, yeah. And this one as well. For this they will be thinner, so like this, and shell should be like a little bit thicker, because those I want them to come here. Okay, and for this I'll convert everything to a double poly. And we don't need the polygons on the ends, so I'll just remove them and do the same here. And now we can attach all the elements together. And here we are making it like this. Okay, not too bad. I will add just a plane, but this we are going to add it at the end because we don't need it for the baking. Second window will be pretty much the same. And now let's do the door part. For the door, I'm actually thinking that just to... Yeah, we are just gonna bake some texture in there, and I'll just add a couple of those beams, like the metal ones that are going around. So, but yeah, let's make it on its own. Let's make it a metal on its own. So I'll just clone that thing. I'm not sure what does this mean. Yes. It's a little bit too much. Let's make it 15. And let's make it like this. Okay, and let's have one more element of those here. Yeah, like this doesn't look bad. Let's make it, yeah. Okay, we make one segment here, and I'll use the same one that's from the bottom to the very top. Okay, and now let's this one can go a little bit backwards, and let's move the edges up so that they don't interfere. I used to be such a huge fan of World of Warcraft, spent countless days and hours there, and it's actually a fun story about it is that it's the game that got me into what I'm doing now. So I was playing it. I really was enjoying some of the environments and some of the things that guys from Blizzard were doing, and I really wanted to create such stuff as well. And I started by just copying and trying to recreate the same models that they had in the game. So it was very hard for me to find any kind of literature for 3ds Max, so I decided that okay, the way to go is I'll learn it myself, and I'll just try to recreate, and if I make something which looks the same way or as close as possible to some professional models that are already in games, maybe this means that I'm growing and I'm improving. So that was pretty much my mentality back then. And let's move those and separate them, because we are soon gonna go back to substance and bake everything. I'll need to delete this. Okay, and we have a question. Please tell us what's the hotkey you use when modeling. Oh yeah, sure, no problem. Most of the time I'm just using the alt key and so on for rotating, and I'm using like the ones that I use most of the time. It will be F3 for showing the wireframe, and F4 to showing the wireframe on top of everything. And I use a lot of the time S to toggle on and off the snap tool. So this is pretty much all the things that I use. And when I'm in editable poly, I use the numbers from 1 to 5 so that I can quickly change in between the selections. And yeah, I think those are all kind of all the hotkeys that I'm using. I usually have some things which are added, but this is in the office. I use it mostly like for cut and some other operations. It depends a lot on the project and like what we're doing at the moment, and I do them usually custom for the purpose. But yeah, generally I use kind of the default settings for Max. Makes it actually a lot easier, because whenever I just go to some new studio or jump on new project, I kind of from the start already feel at home. So yeah, makes it much easier. Okay, softwares for modeling cars. Yeah, I actually have a friend of mine that he's doing some like concepts and some like lots of work on cars, and he's also using 3ds Max. And he used to do lots of visualizations and a lot of interior design, and eventually he got into the whole car modeling. He is a fan of cars, especially fan of Audi. Yeah, in terms of tools, I can't really compare the Max ones from Blender. As I said, I don't have that much experience with Blender. I mostly have it from colleagues of mine, but it's all of how used you are to using the tools. And let's continue making some of the pipes while I'm talking. So it's how you're used to the tools, and also what do you make of it, like how do you use them and how you combine them, because there are many people that I know for my workflow, they say that it's an old school workflow, and you need to get in touch a little bit with some other things and check some new softwares and check some other stuff. And yeah, I totally agree with this, but as well, for example, if you look at Blizzard Works, they are also very old school in a lot of their stuff, and it works for them pretty well. They, of course, experiment and add new technology and a lot of new stuff, but it's always slowly, and they're slowly getting there. I should not have converted that. Let's go back to line, and here let's use fillet. Yes, something like this looks okay. Now we can convert it to editable poly. I'm deleting the endings because we don't need them. And what am I gonna do? Yes, I'll just copy this part. Let's make it so that it's flat. Move the two here, and let's first make this ring, which is for the very bottom. Let's make something like this. Okay, this looks okay. Here I'm just holding Control and clicking on vertices, because if you already have a selection, let's say you made this selection of polygons and then you hold, like if you, I just go to vertices, it won't remember the selection, but if I hold Control, it will actually move on to the same vertices, which create these polygons. So I use this for quick selecting, like in this case I am selecting the very bottom, and then I just hold it so that I have the whole ring, and I'm doing this so I can quickly after that come and do like that. We don't need this part. I'll make it a little bit longer here, and let's rotate it. Let's attach all of this, fix their smoothing groups, and let's make another variation of this pipe, which will be like a taller one. Portfolio review. You mean review of people's portfolio or of my portfolio? Let's attach those two, and yeah, let's do the unwrap for them. Hide unselected. And here we are going to help a little bit 3ds Max. So I will just make some of the seams like here, and I'll make the one over here. So I'm using just this peel, the seam tool, which is from, so you can do it like one by one, or you can do it from point to point. I usually use the point from point because it's really fast. Like you can just click on an element that you want, and then the other one, and you can see that in just 2 clicks, literally, we already have our seam and where it's supposed to be. I'm doing it on the inside of the objects because they are gonna be a little bit more hidden this way. Let's do it like this. And now we can come here, and I'll just use the quick peel, and you can see that we already have something. Not perfect, but something. Let's check those. Okay, now it's a little bit better. And let's straighten some of the things. Like those are the big elements, so I'll make them like this, and this I can make it like that. try to make it at least a little bit more organized. I'm selecting everything and gonna use this quick pack so we have everything packed. Of other people, yeah, it's something that actually it could be interesting, that to do some review of other people's work, like their scene or maybe portfolio if they want. It can be interesting. Probably not gonna do it all the time, but let's say once or twice we can try something like this. Okay, so we have our pipes, we have our front side done, and what else do we need? Okay, let's do those. We need to do the UVs as well. Okay. Here we're just going for flatten. Not gonna. And those two I will pack in the same texture. We don't need to use separate ones. So we are doing the same trick here. I'll assign 3 different materials. Let's move this over here, and those, let's move them like this so that they don't bother us. And this is the third material. So 1, 2, 3. Let's give a quick save, and let's export all of this together. Yeah, it's giving an error because it cannot export the texture which is assigned on this material. But this should not bother us at all. We don't need it. Okay, we are getting this one. And let's start with the walls. We already have from our previous baking the quick setups, so I'm just gonna use those. Let's first not forget to bake, use the low polish, bake all textures so that we can use our masks. Okay, and we have in our smart our material from before. So here we don't need the metal part, so I can just delete it. This one I'll just hide it for now, and it's bricks everywhere. We need to rotate it. And here we're doing it 5. I think it should be okay. I had to import that one with the other wall elements. It was going to be much easier, but yeah, I think like this should be okay. Let's add a little bit of dirt. One more layer of dirt. I'll add the one from the ground, since this element is next to the ground. Okay, too shiny. Let's duplicate this, and I will use Maybe moss. Moss is not our... Let's use something with some scratches. Yeah, let's go for this one. Okay. Here I'll give it a little bit more roughness because I want to have some variations. Not very often, to tell you the truth. I wish I was visiting it a little bit more often, but every time that we have a chance to go there, we try to. Need to fix these parts here. This one is okay. This one is not. Okay, and now we can duplicate this and invert our mask and make it like this. Okay, much better. Yeah, of course, I miss family and friends there, but they also travel. We see each other not only when I go back there, but we also see each other like on some vacation. Let's say we go usually to Greece or some other place around Europe, and yeah, we see each other there. So it's not that bad. Yeah, I need to grab my materials because I imported them into the project before. Let's have them here as well. And for our I wanted to actually go for our pipes. For them I'm not gonna do anything super fancy. Of course I'm gonna make them darker than the rest, but not hyper dark. We are gonna do some ground dirt. Yeah, let's I'll paint a little bit because I'm not very happy with how this looks. So I'll just go with a text with like this. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Let's add one more layer, and this time we are gonna use, let's see, no, moss doesn't work for us. And this one as well doesn't look very good. Something which will enhance a little bit more our, maybe the cavity one. It's too close to, oh, it's too close to everything, so I'm not sure. Okay, let's add some scratches, and we are going to remove big portion of it. Like, just go, whoops, the other way around, removing it, not adding more. Let's go like this. Of course, what we want to do for the scratches, we want them to be more shiny, so I will reduce the shininess, the base, like this, and now I can come and make those a little bit more shiny. Let's see what new questions we have here. My wife, she is learning French. I am not very good in languages, to be honest. I am also trying, but my wife, she's more, it comes naturally to her, while for me, I use English. I would say that I have lots of situations where we don't understand really each other with some people in the store or someone, but I will learn. We just actually moved in, so it's still pretty new for me. We were living in Poland till like 6 months ago, 5-6 months ago. And yeah, it's because I started a new job here, and we moved. Okay, now we have our, so for this, let's go like that. And I'll just make like this and then remove this part. Yes. Okay, like that, it's not bad. Let's make it. Let's see some of the so here I'm going to combine this wood with some planks, because this wood doesn't have a texture for having the separation of planks, but I really like how it looks, so I'll use it here, and I'll use it as well for the windows. And now let's find, there was a material which comes inside. Yeah, this one will work out for us. So we don't want the color, we just want the normal and the rest, so we don't want the color. And here I'm just gonna use, this is too small, let's make it a 3. Yeah, okay, that's not too bad, went pretty fast. Let's see, I want to make want to make there should be roughness value. Let's see if we are happy with it. Yeah, it's not that bad. Height range, let's make it, it should increase the dents for the planks. Height position. Okay, something like this. Not bad. And of course we need our dirt, ground dirt. Go with brush, and I'll again remove a little bit from it. I'll make a duplicate, and now I can I'll use a different brush. And let's see, let's use something to enhance a little bit the and separate the metal parts from the planks. Yeah. Okay, again, not to be super generic, I'll just go like this and then I'll like break it up a little bit here and there. Okay, and now we need to fix our windows. So first let's make a paint layer and remove all the parts that have wrong direction. So this has wrong direction, and this. Those inside. Okay, those are not okay. I see nowadays so many games that they just overlook this part for the direction of some UVs, and it's one of the things that bothers me a lot. Of course, you can always miss something and just in the hurry not do it, but the thing is that a lot of the times like this, usually if you just miss somewhere or like there is some small mistake, it will be like, let's say, one place, but I see it on so many places in some games that I'm already starting to question if it's really a mistake. And it's something which is so quickly to fix. Okay. Let's save and bring all of this back to max. Export as targa. And close, save it. It's open max. We are doing the same. Just gonna grab the texture. So the first one, if I remember, should be okay. The first one is this one. It's this one. Let's see. Those bricks. They're, I think, a little bit smaller than the other ones. Yeah. A little bit, yeah, but we are not gonna go back now and fix it. This is our door. And let's put the pipes. Let's start assembling the scene a little bit more and start adding the floors. Okay, so this. So the question about if the education is really a main requirement, it's something that actually quite a lot of people are asking me, and I would say no, but it's definitely something that can help you a lot. That of course depends of what kind of education you have. Like if it's something related to this, it can you can benefit and it can help you a lot. Because if you're studying something like classical arts or animation or something like this, usually you will study a lot of different color theories, you will do a lot of sketches, and arts is one of these things that it's you need to train your muscle memory. So you're by repeating and doing the same tasks over and over again, at some point you already start seeing issues and preventing them and you stop doing them. So it's something which can help you and you can definitely benefit from it. So I would say that of course it's something that it's not mandatory. I have lots of colleagues that didn't study anything which was art related. I even had one colleague which actually he was a cook before, and then he was just tired already of cooking, and yeah, little by little he started learning more and more about 3D, and he became actually a pretty good 3D artist. Now he's still working in as 3D guy, doing games. Of course, it's also there is one more side of it. It depends of course, what position you're applying for. For usually for upper positions, it's like having some diploma or having some studies is more required than like going for junior position or just mid position, because, and also if you're a specialist as well, it's I would say not that needed. It's mostly for the management positions, and it depends a lot on from studio to studio. Let's do the same thing with the symmetry here. So I'll just move everything like this so that we have this beam on the top, and I will grab this and use it as an element for the bottom. Okay, here we don't have a cap out, other cap, and I will just quickly make a UV for it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Here Max is going crazy on me. Let's see what I will pick. I'll just grab some, let's say this position here should be fine. Better than some stretched UVs. Here I will use the preserve UVs. So if you're moving something without it, you can see how they gonna stretch. But if I turn it on and slide it, you can see that we didn't have this stretching. So let's put this like that. Main benefit of marriage. You're gonna get me in trouble, man. I'll keep it a secret for the next stream. What is purpose of life? Okay. Let's start building up the upper part. We're doing the same thing as last time. Okay, here I'll just switch them up. So this one will go here, and then I'll add this element. Rotate it 90 degrees. So good that we already have all the details baked on the backside, so whenever we put another, it just sits there perfectly. And here it's And where are you guys from? If it's not a secret since you asked me, I'm returning the question. Okay, not going super bad. Let's again drag our screenshot here. So we need to build this upper part. So we will need some planks. I will make the planks for the bottom, and then probably I'll use them to make those as well. And for the frame, it's actually the same frame. So yeah, I'm just gonna build another row with the frame, and then we're gonna add the planks. And I will add those elements for the cloths. And after that, we will go and build them in Marvelous Designer. Let's grab those. So we don't need this part, and we don't need this part. And then we are just gonna put the other part there. Okay, like this. We grab those and we flip it. And here I'm just gonna grab this element. Oh, cool, Ukraine. I had lots of colleagues in Ukraine, from Ukraine, on my previous job while I was working in Poland. I was working in Krakow, and actually, it's, correct me if I'm wrong, but Poland in general is a destination which is popular to go. Yeah. Okay, we have our upper side, we just need the planks. And yeah, let's start with making the cloth. So I'll make I even remember seeing on some of the ATMs when you go and redraw, and like from the list of languages that you can select, it was like Polish, Ukrainian, and English, and you know that there's lots of people coming from some country there. If you see that on the ATMs, it's one of the languages that you can select. So let's make it like that. And maybe it's too thick. Okay. Four. Yeah, this will be too thin. So let's make it like. After all, we need to hang this 0707. Those I'll make a little bit thinner. Yeah. Okay, this one I'm moving backwards. Not really happy how this looks here. I'll maybe move it like this. Anyway, we're gonna have some variation between those, so yeah, like this. It's okay-ish. Poland is number one growing economy in Europe. Ukraine. Yeah, I think I saw somewhere some statistics a while ago that in Poland it's like stable grow each year, like for something percent, and they've been doing this for already quite some time. So it's developing pretty well. I wanted to go now this year for Digital Dragons. It was now in May. I usually go every year, but yeah, because of this whole situation around the world, it's something which is not doable, unfortunately. But we'll see, maybe they will change the date or give some new date for it. And I will go. If I go, I'll definitely make a short video from there. Okay, we have this and this. So I will start now making the clothes. Let's export this. Cloth 1. And this will be export cloth 2. And let's open Marvel's Designer. I started using Marvelous Designer. I was working at for some time in a company which was doing clothes, especially visualization for clothes, and I started there as a project related with Nike, and they wanted to do a platform inside Unreal, which was interactive platform, and I didn't export them as OBJ. Yeah, yes. Let me just re-export them because they need to be an OBJ. So there I first time encountered Marvelous, and you can do very fast, very nice cloth simulation, and I use it like for character artist. I think it's something which it's almost like a mandatory thing already to use. Did we get something inside? No. Let's import. Oh, I misclicked. So import obj. Yes. Okay. Yes. We have everything now. The way that it works, you can, like the way I'm using it at least, you can import the geometry. I usually do it already in Max and everything, and then here on this side you have your 3D view, on this side you have your 2D view, and it's pretty easy. You can just draw a polygon, like from here. You just create a polygon. You can see it already that it will appear in the screen. And now I'll just grab it and I'm gonna rotate it. It doesn't matter if it's not perfectly aligned or anything, because we anyway want to cloth simulation to be a little bit let's put it so that it hangs from this side a little, goes out on this side a little bit more. We want it to be a little bit like more random, not completely flat. And now I'll just edit. I'll move this side like this. Yeah, okay, like this doesn't look bad. And when we are already done with this, we just need to click space and boom. Then we click space one more time and we are done with our simulation. And the best part for this is that we already have our model here and we have our UVs, because the UVs are exactly the ones that we drew here on the right side. So it's super fast to work. Like if you already have your UV set and everything, and you can see that it's like perfectly aligned, so you can just quickly after that add some pattern, and yeah, you will see it in a few seconds how I'm gonna do that inside Painter. So we have this. Now the thing that I will do is I will decrease the number of particles. This is the distance of particles, so this is basically going to decrease the number of polygons. By default is 20. Like if you want to have a very detailed simulation, we can just increase it, like make it small numbers, so then each polygon is a smaller one. But yeah, I want to optimize so we can be usable for game. I think 50 is too much, so let's do for 40. Yeah, 40 it's okay for us. It still has some of the wrinkles, and this that it goes through our planks, it's not a problem, because I'm just gonna move it a little bit up in Max and it will be fine. And now I can already select this, just export selected, and I'll use cloth sim 1. Okay, and now you can see that if I come here, import, and let me just find where it went. It's Yes, there it is. Import, it should come directly on the right position, yes. I'll just edit the pivot because it took the scene from Marvelous, like that, and now move it forward. So, something like this. Oh yeah, I need to move it forward because we have these beams that are over here that intersect. Okay, this one is done. Let's save it. Let's make new. No, I don't want to save it. I'll delete the garment. Now we're trying to skip again because they are not happy with. Yeah, I think it's pretty much the same scenario for Balkans. Lots of people are living from there, not very happy. We are doing the same thing here. Okay, let's see. So we need to definitely make it longer. Let me Control Z. Too much. Let's see how it goes now. A little bit better. I want to make this side a little bit longer as well because it's yeah, like this much better. And now this side I will just shorten it. I don't want it to be that much hanging. Okay, like this. I don't want to make it perfect, I just want to have a little bit of a distance. Okay, yeah, this looks good. Yeah, I agree. Let's make it a positive stream. One day, when we gather a whole army of 3D people, we can make a 3D political 3D community. It will be the most boring stream ever. Okay, this one, since there's a few, I'll just kill it. Boom, like that. So it doesn't intersect. Okay, we have the cloths. Let's attach them. I'll use this one. Convert it to editable poly. Touch it, and we have our UVs, you can see, but they are insanely huge. So I'll just select them and click pack, and we have everything packed. Oh, I forgot to lower down the. Do I still have it open? Yeah. Let's lower down the amount of details we have. Just delete. Oops. this one. Double pulley. Oh, this definitely not what I wanted. Yes, just we want to repack it. Not we don't want 3ds Max to think. Export, and now we are ready to export it as an FBX to Substance. Yeah, there's actually few ways that you can do something like that, to do simulation or animation, I would say, because I actually was reviewing something like this that the guys from inside Hellblade did. So they had their flux on a looping animation, which was not very long animation, and I think, like, I'm of course not 100% sure that, but the way that they did it is most likely they just made some simulation, and after that they baked, like they added a bone, or they just animated like some bones on this, and after that they made them loop. Pretty much for the looping itself, it's like the same process as making the animation. You just make like, let's say, some simulation with the bones. They already have some keyframes, and after that you just take the beginning and reverse it and put it at the very end, so that you can have the whole loop. Or you just get the very first frame of all the bones and put them at the very end as a copy, and then you leave the 3ds Max to do, or whatever program you're using to do the rest and calculate the differences. We can I'll definitely I can do a tutorial and explain few different ways for this. I think it will be interesting. Just to drink a little bit of water. Okay, now we can continue. Let's first save our file and go to, we need to find some cloths, I think. I had from concrete. Okay, let's get those, because by name it's more difficult. Yes, so I'll use this as a base. Maybe on 7, lucky 7. I'm deleting this layer, and we repeat pretty much the same process. I will start. Oh, I need to first make a bake. Bake. for some animations of clothes, like it depends as well also what you want to do, because if you just want to make let's say some small pieces of clothes or some flag or something like that, which is just being blown from the wind, you can also, okay, that looks okay, you can also use just a shader inside Unreal, for example, or some other software, like some other engine, and yeah, pretty much just make a vertex shader and move it from there. It's much cheaper and also much faster to do so. Let's make a few different just some dirt. Let's make it some a little bit more yellowish stains. Maybe we can even go this and more wet. Yeah. Okay, this starts to look not too bad. I'll add probably, yeah, I'll add one layer which will be with some just painted, so that we can just randomize it more. Like I'll just go like this, and now we go the opposite way. To add a little bit here on the very bottom. Okay, this looks okay. Cloth 7th bar. Let's put everything and make it a smart material, and let's drag and drop it on to the other one. Here I'll just paint the custom one. Okay, we are ready. Export. Let's get our clothes now in Max. Let me just close this. Otherwise it will continue auto-saving on the background. Split those, and this is not the correct one, this is the correct one. I need to add the normal map as well. Okay, and now for the other one, normal map. Let's make it not pink. Okay, I've been avoiding these planks up to this point. Now it's finally time to start them. Let's make all the places like here. I'll need one plane. For this one I'll just actually for these planks I'm thinking now what we can do instead of baking texture for them, because it will be too big of a surface and it will make our texture density pretty bad. I will just use tiled textures. Let's just make a plane first for it and see how it works. Let's go with minus. How thick should this be? This is too much. I think 7. Yeah, 7 looks good. And let's make it some normal numbers by 24 and center it. Want to move a little bit those, just to be a little bit more centered. And yeah, let's make it here as well. Okay, I need to make 2 other modules. You can see that because our middle part is 6.5 and those are 5 meters, I need to make 2 other modules for here, otherwise it won't tell, but we are gonna leave this for almost for last. Let's quickly clone this on the other side. Okay. Let's put some normal color. And as I remember, I already had yeah, I already had one material that I made, not made, but already have it from Substance, just exported. Yeah, it's for planks, so I'll just grab that one. Yeah, I remember it correctly. This one is just directly from Substance. I think I just played a little bit with the color variation so that it's not exactly. Okay, and let's go here and see what this is. Too small. This one. Maybe this one fits what was it? It was 25, so if we go 6, yeah, we won't be able to tile it that well. Let's go, yeah, like that. That should be okay. So what I will do, because I'm gonna use this quite a few times, I'll make a box here on the side, and once I adjusted all the UVs here, I'll just copy it and paste it on the box, so it's kind of like a holder for my modifier, and after that I can every time that I need to use it on something else, I'll just copy it again from there. Let's now put it like this. Should fit on the other side, yes, perfectly, because we have it 25 meters and we made it to tile 5 meters, so it tiles just right. And here as well it fits good. Now I'll just copy it and paste it here. So this one is our container, and it's every time, because I'm gonna collapse this one, and every time that I need to come back and take the modifier and reapply it somewhere else, I can just come to this box and take it. Yeah, I think on my side as well, I will just finish the planks, and I'm gonna be wrapping it up for today. And tomorrow I'm gonna continue by fixing this backside, fixing the planks on the top, and already starting the ground, and we will bake some other facades for all the other elements around. I just wanted to quickly, as we are on this stage, I'll just save it, and wanted to make one quick experiment to see how everything looks like with some lights. I will use directly in, I'll do this directly in max, so environment, HDRI, and we're gonna use, I like this one, the Shanghai. It has some color, and I'll just drag it and drop it into the environment. I remove the background. I'm gonna make it something like this, so it's not that distracting. And I need to change the renderer to Arnold, so that now everything works. And here we change it to advanced. We gonna use the scene lights. Let's leave it by default, we don't need anything fancy. We turn on shadows, we turn ambient. I will just increase it to make it nicer. Okay, so far doesn't look too bad. Let me just make the exposure maybe a little bit higher and see how everything looks like. It looks pretty okay for a start. As I mentioned, we are gonna play a lot with the planks, so I will make them a little bit more broken. We need to add also the supports, and after that, yeah, we can already start with all the backgrounds. So yeah, I think that tomorrow evening I will probably do another stream, like probably we need another 2 hours and something, and after that we should be already kind of finished with the scene. I really didn't want to spend too much time. I think that overall it will be around 5 hours of work for it, so yeah, it's gonna be pretty good. Yeah. For in my work and at home as well, I have 2 screens set up. I most of the time use it either move some of the properties or elements on the second screen, and or use it just to look at some references. And I would say that it makes everything much easier. Hello. So let's let's walk a little bit around, see how things look like, and some things that we will probably improve. Oh yeah, I can see already something. So this is exactly the case that I was talking about. You can see that the UVs are not going the correct direction, so now I can just come here, copy it, as paste it. It won't change anything else, and I'll just come here and rotate the gizmo into 90 degrees like this, so that we can continue all the seems the proper direction. And it seems that we need to do, actually we don't need to do this on that side, we can just come and move it like that. Yeah, so we have on some places. Okay, now I'm gonna copy it again, and we can delete this one and replace it with the new one, so that we have everything saved. Any lag? So no, not at the moment. I'm having from time to time some problems when already the scenes are becoming a little bit bigger, and if I have like all the lights and everything on the scene turned on. But yeah, overall I don't have that issue. Okay, I think that for today it's enough. We took it on a pretty good stage. From here on, we can just improve it, like by adding the base and making the rest of the environment. And yeah, tomorrow, as I said, I will probably do another around 2-hour stream in the evening. I will write it this time a little bit earlier, not like today's stream, which was a little bit spontaneous, so that you can guys check it out and plan it if you want to join. And if not, of course, it will be after that available on the channel, and you can just join in and watch it then. Thanks a lot for joining me. Hope that it was useful and you enjoyed these few hours together. And yeah, thanks for supporting the channel and supporting me. And see you tomorrow on when we continue with our scene. And of course, we're gonna see each other next week when I'm gonna be starting to upload the standard videos, which I'm doing all the time. One thing that I forgot to mention is at the end, when I finish the whole scene, I will just put it somewhere so that you guys can download it as well, and yeah, have a look on your PC and how it works, and as well you can have a look on the models and some of the textures. I want again to mention that this is something which I'm not optimizing in the moment, so it's definitely not gonna be like game ready, but it's something that hopefully you can just scroll around and play with it. And yeah, after that, if something, hopefully you can distinguish and like find some other new stuff around the scene when you walk around it. So yeah, thanks again for joining, and see you tomorrow.